Thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers. I'm really excited about that number going up. Every time I open YouTube, it's just going up slightly. And there's so many comments on that one video, how a meme dies. I'm really surprised by that. I did not think that would take off. As a thank you, I'm going to answer some of the questions that I got in this video that I have. Ask me anything in the comments. That video is still up and those comments are still open. If you want to ask me anything, there's the comment section to do it. Ask anything you want in those comments. For now, I'm going to answer the questions that are currently there. I'm going to go in order from newest to most recent. Also, this video is not going to be edited like my others. This one's going to be a lot longer, a lot more chill. Because I did get some comments that I might be a little too snappy with the editing. That's definitely a purposely picked choice, like I do that on purpose. The first question I got here is, why did you start making videos? Funny enough, I actually started honestly like 10 years ago, which would put me 17, 18 years old, around there. And it was originally a Snapchat video that I had made. And I kind of took it down because it's got copyrighted music in the background. It was me destroying this tub of oatmeal. At the time, I had friends in high school that thought it was the funniest thing ever. Funny enough, I'm so old now that I don't know a single one of them anymore, right? I've outgrown it. But I came back to it years after, like a few times, right? I've restarted several times where I had this weird video series called Bold Filmmaking, kind of making fun of like modern artists. I don't know what my deal was back then, but I stopped that. And then I came back after starting the podcast for a different reason, the podcast on another website, rss.com. And it just kind of stuck. I started liking the making of videos process because back then I didn't have the best technology. And even now, my computer's struggling sometimes. Lucy talks about stuff. Thank you for that question, by the way. Really appreciate you for being the first one to ask something. The next one is Freaky Nerd 1. You asked a few questions, and I'm going to answer all of them. This question is, of all the videos you've made, is there one or some you're most proud of? Actually, yeah, there's two that I'm most proud of. I think the obvious one is How a Meme Dies, because I didn't expect it to get so big. But the second one, which is one of my personal favorites, is going to the God Said No Omar Apollo concert, because I made a joke that I'm kind of proud of, where in order to get around copyright, I just made the music myself in like the worst way possible. I used GarageBand, stock audio, and I didn't try, okay? Like the point was that I was just fucking around, and I don't know, it's just, there's something funny about just cutting loose and going from a travel vlog to the world's worst musician just for a minute. I was really proud of that, but no one watched it. What has been the biggest challenge since you started the podcast? There's a lot, actually. I do want to mention one that I am quite proud of, though. This is something that I want people to follow in my footsteps. The thing is, when I started the podcast, I had a very bad habit of smoking. And that's kind of why my voice in the earlier episodes was even deeper. I had straight up vocal fry from all the vapes, the cigarettes, the chewing tobacco. Like, not even chewing tobacco. It was like Zins and stuff like that. I had a long period of time where I was super addicted, right? I was spending hundreds of dollars on this stuff, and I had to quit for a week. And I talked about it in an episode of the podcast where it was really hard. On day 3, you hit this wall where your body's just screaming, hey, we need nicotine now. And that was one of the biggest hurdles to get over for the podcast, but I'm very proud I did that, for my health. Also, I don't want to do these things in public and people see me and think, oh, it's okay to do that. I don't want some young, impressionable person to see me do that and think, oh, it's fine. He's doing it, right? He's an adult. He's doing it. It's not okay to do. And if you are doing it, try to stop. I say try to because I know it's hard to just cut it off cold turkey. I went through the headaches. I went through the withdrawals. It's really bad, but it's worth it. What has been the most rewarding outcome or experience during this endeavor? Also asked by Freaky Nerd 1. There are these episodes that I did in collaboration with like bigger names than me, right? There's this guy, whereas Balake, My Life is Like a Video Game, that guy, that old TikTok that blew up. That guy was on the podcast, like a whole episode, 1 hour of us talking, and we were just shooting the shit. And honestly, for me, the most rewarding is when I get to have people on the podcast and just talk with them, Like, I'm not going to be this big host that's like, oh, I need to talk to you about this. This issue is important. Nah, dude, we're just chilling with a microphone talking. And I got to chill with him and this Joseph Pfister, aka Doomer Cringe, on TikTok as well. He was really fun to work with as well. Tim Wilcox, Funny Guy, the Australian comedian, amazing. Every single person who I've had on the podcast has been a rewarding experience for me because I feel like it really, I don't know, there's just such a unique feeling about it. There's nothing on earth like it, and it's so rewarding after I hit upload and I get to hear it over and over again. You know, it's just, I don't know, I love it. I am sad that it seems like Tim Wilcox has moved on from the internet. I no longer see any of his content, any of his videos I can't find. He really deleted everything. T-Rex Morgan was also on the podcast. I'm going to link all their socials in the description. Please check them out. Why does everyone say once you hit rock bottom, you can only go up? And no one ever says now that you're at the top, you can only go down. I feel like that's the pessimist way of looking at it. And the other one, you know, once you've hit rock bottom, you can only go up. That's like the positive way of putting a spin on it, I guess. That would be my answer. I'm not exactly sure though. That's a good question. Cool Dud 53 asks, why did Freaky Nerd 1 ask 4 questions? I replied to him in the comments, but the answer is basically in that video, there is no limit to how many questions you can ask. To this day, the comments are still open. So if you're still curious and you have questions for me, go ahead and go to that video. I'll link it in the description and ask whatever comment you want and however many. Santo Meister asked, what motivated you to make content? I actually really liked Charlie or Penguin Z0's earlier work where he didn't show his face at the time, right? I actually watched Penguin, I'm just going to call him Critical. I watched Critical long before he did the face reveal, the live streams, all the big moist challenges, whatever he's got now. And I like the voiceover over gameplay footage. Like it's that simple. And I started doing that with The Long Dark in the style of him doing that, but I added my own twist with my editing, some of the jokes I make, and honestly, some of the jokes that I make are, I think of Video Game Donkey when it comes to funny jokes. There's this video he made called The Ultimate Skyrim, and I cannot tell you how hard I laughed at that video. I laughed so hard. I was in tears. I was crying laughing. I had no laughter coming out. I was just, like, at this point, just twitching, laughing so hard. I had to pause the video because I couldn't even see the video physically. And that day I thought, this guy's funny as shit. I gotta do this. Like, I gotta. I can never be as funny as Donkey, but damn, am I gonna try. Santo also asks, why are you so underrated? With a lot of exclamation and question marks. If I had to guess, I would say it's because I've had a YouTube channel for years and I inconsistently upload. Recently, I've been more consistent with it. Thankfully, it's actually helped me in the algorithm. But if you do start a YouTube channel, you can't just leave and come back to it. You really do got to keep at it. And I learned that the hard way. It took 10 years, but hey, we're here, right? Dridrick Tatum 3015 asks, are you gay? Your audience needs to hear it from you. Well, someone was going to ask eventually. No, I'm not gay. I'm actually currently in a relationship. What's funny too is I was expecting more people to ask that, but I'm surprised that only one person did. A Sentient Rubik's Cube asks, where did you come up with the design for your little microphone fella? I'm actually really excited to answer this one because I didn't come up with it. Arts by Bella on Twitter reached out to me with a rough sketch of this character. And I really liked it because the thing is, I was looking for artists on Twitter who would make a new design for me, and Arts by Bella won. And there were a lot of submissions. When I first tweeted that years ago, it really blew up. Like, it was one of my first viral tweets, and it was just because so many artists were reaching out to me. But Arts by Bella won, like hands down out of all of them. And the crazy thing is, right, I originally had a different character altogether. Now, the first one, I also paid an artist. This one was one that I was excited to work with because of again, all these artists, I reach out to them because of their unique style. This is actually the original Meatweed podcast logo. As you can see, it's a very distinct art style. Your local breadman on Instagram is the person I reached out to originally for this design. There's actually a really cool thing that I had done with both, right? Both of these art pieces are actually stickers, collectible stickers, because I printed 120 of each. And the thing is, I still have only a handful of both. The thing that I've done is I've either put them somewhere, or my day ones, people that actually know me in person, Old coworkers that know I have this, silly hobby. It's a hobby, let's face it. I'm not making money on this. I'm doing it for fun. And honestly, I'm having a great time. Thank you for that question, by the way. I love talking about the logo. The breeder asks, before doing podcast type videos, did you do different types of videos back then? Yeah, I'm really not proud of where I started from video-wise because it wasn't good. I guess at the time I thought I was breaking new ground. Very avant-garde type videos where I'm just recording like either 10 seconds or 1 minute of me doing something. There's an example actually. I have one still up. It's called Bold Filmmaking Episode 1 Breakfast, where I literally just cook an egg in a very weird style. By the way, it's such a low quality video, literally low quality, probably like 240. So that tells you what kind of equipment I was working with back then. It was very, very rustic, very rustic. Most of those videos are either set to private or fully deleted by now, but that's how I got my foot in the door, really. These videos, that specific one, cooking, breakfast, that actually started before the audio podcast. The podcast itself starting in 2021, but I didn't really take it seriously until 2022. I don't know, it's weird, but that video, that was weird, I mean, I started at least. Buster's Big Bro asked, do you think you could actually survive in a situation like the Long Dark? Same map and found materials, etc. I do not think I can. Having said that, I have a little bit of outdoor experience. The thing about the Long Dark, right, is that it's very cold in the game. And it has to do with snow and winter survival, and that's something I'm not used to because I'm in a very warm state. I live in California, and it doesn't get that cold here, so I don't think I could. You know what? Given my current situation, given everything I know about outdoorsmanship, I would definitely not survive in the Long Dark. Santomeister, hello again. What is your mascot supposed to be, and who drew it, and who is Wheat? All very good questions. My mascot is supposed to be my old Blue Yeti microphone that sprung out little tentacles with an evil eye and an angry smiley face because I asked Arts by Bell to just go crazy with the logo design, and she did a great job. As for who is Wheat, I actually have no idea. Me and my cousin, during one of the early episodes, Breadspiracy with Tony, one of the really early episodes of the podcast, we started talking, right? Because originally the podcast name was Delicious Milk. I'm not even joking. For one day, we had the name Delicious Milk. And then we started going on this tangent about how everything is a sandwich if you really think about it. How there's starch in paint in the walls. So technically this room is a sandwich. Is a taco a sandwich? Is a hot dog a sandwich? And we just kept going, right? Everything is eventually in bread. I had such a fun time making that episode that I thought, hey, what's in a sandwich? Meat, wheat bread, and then I think at some point we mentioned that, right? And then I thought meat, wheat. I like the sound of that, There's some alliteration there. I like that. And because I'm clumsy, I spelled meat wrong because autocorrect decided to change meat, like sandwich meat, to meat as in you're meeting someone. Wheat, that came from wheat bread. So meat, wheat, that's kind of like I heard that and I thought, I like it. So we're going to change the name to that. And someone pointed out afterwards, hey, it kind of sounds like Meat Beat. Haha, funny name. Well, I already changed the name. Feathers Bartholomew asks, how big is it? I'll tell you, it's about 1,000 subs. Yeah, you thought I was going to actually answer you, didn't you? I'm not going to answer that on a public server. Are you crazy? This is a weird video to make. I actually really like doing this, okay? Seriously, guys. I'm going to link the video in the description. Ask more questions, okay? I answered literally all the questions that were there. So go to that video and keep asking more. This was really fun. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all of the new attention, all the new eyes coming in, all the comments. Positive and negative, a comment is a comment, okay? Whether you agree or disagree with me, I'm just happy to hear from you. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, one more time, I really appreciate the 1,000 subscribers. This is honestly a dream come true. I'm really, really excited about it. See you guys.